Good evening, everyone. This is Dana from NexGen, and welcome to Me Inc. I hope everyone had a great week. This week in Me Inc., I'd like to do a continuation of my adventures with my computer. The computer that I purchased last week, I actually financed it. Well, actually, I already had the Best Buy account, but I did the 12-month same as cash. Now, using the 12 months or whatever 0% that you're going to get, it is very important for you to make sure that you adhere to the terms of that 0% or interest-free purchase, because I can promise you that the merchant is looking for you, or the finance company is looking for you to either pay late or miss a payment. And that basically nullifies that 0%, because what happens is all of that interest that was, quote, deferred, you will end up having to pay. So I thought it would be really great to talk about automated payments or automated finances, because in the business world, they saw an advantage to automating their finances. Automating it gave them a higher productivity, reliability, availability, increased performance, and reduced operating costs. So if automating your finances in the business world can do all of that, then I'm sure we can find a way to do it in our personal life. So let's go ahead and dig in. Before we get started, I want to let you know that everything that I'm going to be talking about is based on my personal preference. For example, I don't have a debit card and I don't like tipping my banker. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link up above. I do have an ATM card and I do have a checkbook because some of the people that I do business with, they do accept checks. I also use Zelle and member to member transfers. This is how I automate my finances. The first thing I do is I set up direct deposit. Now, before I used to receive my paycheck from my employer, then I would stand in line in the bank or the credit union to deposit my money into the bank account. So that, of course, took some time. So part of my automation is to have my, not no longer an employer, but my retirement check now goes automatically into my selected checking account. Now, I do have want more than one checking account. So if I decide that I want to either use a debit card or an ATM card or what have you, I do have a separate checking account for that. But this checking account that I receive my pay is specifically for paying bills. Then, of course, I'm going to set up my budget. Now, the importance of setting up my budget, and we've talked about it in previous videos, is that it helps me know what bills are going to be due and when, because not all bills are monthly. We do have quarterly bills, annual bills, and periodic, what have you. So setting up my budget lets me get a snapshot of my expenses. And the reason why knowing this is important also is that for this to work, for me, I have to have at least 1 month of expenses in my money market. Now, the reason why I'm going to take the money from my checking and move it into my money market is because it is my way of paying myself first. Because the interest rate that I would receive from the checking account, from the money market account, is higher than the rate that I would receive from the checking account. And my money market is pretty much a holding area for my money, if you will. And the requirement for me to have a money market account is at least $1,000. And the way it's set up is if my balance should go below $1,000, they just won't pay me at the money market rate. But the good news is I don't have to worry about that. So the money that comes in from the checking, I will move it into the majority of it into the money market. Now, I may decide that for whatever reason, for example, if I wanted to have what I call play money, I would move a portion of that money into the other checking account that I was telling you about, and I could use it for either an ATM or a debit card or what have you. But that's not my bill paying checking account, if you will. So from that, and also looking at the budget, the other thing I want to do is tell which bills I can pay by way of credit card and which bills cannot. And the bills that are paid by credit card, I want to use it if they don't charge a fee. So for the cell phone, for the utility, the gas, just about all of my bills I can pay by way of credit card. And how I have it set up is that instead of pulling the money out of my checking account, they're actually going to be pulling it from my credit card. And the most important thing about that is that I want to use a credit card that does not have a balance that I intend to pay off every month. So that's very important. So from the bills, I'm going to have one set that is paid exclusively by credit card. That's also automatic. That's how I have it set up. Then I have another set that either charges me a fee for using my credit card, or they don't accept credit cards. And what I would do with those is I would set up the bill pay in Navy Federal. Now, the way they have it set up, you can put the information in there, and if you want to, have it come out of your checking account automatically. So you have a lot of flexibility with that. Some of it I choose to have it come out for the ones that have the fixed amount. I usually have that come out automatically. So I would make sure that I have enough money in that checking account to where it will pull that money out. Now, sometimes the amount is different. And I think the only thing I can think of that the amount would be different is my electricity bill. Everything else is pretty much the fixed amount. So every week, I would be monitoring to make sure that I pay those bills, or that those bills are paid at least 2 weeks before the due date. The reason why that's important, and I'm talking about the ones that are going to be coming out of my checking account. The reason why that's important is because with bill pay, that's a free service. And if anything goes wrong, because Navy Federal uses a third party to execute these bill pays, if there's a problem, I'll be able to take care of it right away. For example, the way bill pay is set up is that they will send the payment electronically. If they can't send it electronically, they're going to turn around and send it out a paper check. Of course, this is free of charge. Now, with anything you send in the mail, there could be a problem, and that's why it's important for me to always check to make sure that they receive the payment. The other thing is that if there's anything that goes wrong to where it causes a payment to be late, I can talk to Navy Federal, and Navy Federal will actually pay any type of charges that may be incurred. I haven't had that happen yet, but it's good to know that it's there. Of course, I'm going to monitor this on a weekly basis to make sure everything is set up properly. So far, so good. I've only had a handful of issues, but the automated process works for me. This is the process in diagram form. As you can see, we have the direct deposit pay, and it goes into the checking account. Then the majority of the money goes to the money market, but I may put some money in another checking account that I would use for ATM, pretty much what I call mad money. Not that much, usually maybe $100. But the majority of it would go into the money market. And from the money market, I would transfer it back into the first checking as far as bill pay. And so this is pretty much my way of paying myself first. Now, in addition to the electricity bill, my credit card bill will, of course, be a different amount. The good news is that I only have a handful of bills that would be paid, and I've got it on a schedule so that they will be paid at least 2 weeks before the due date. So if there's any problems, I can make the correction at that time. So the majority of my bills are by way of the credit card, so it's pretty much a set it and forget it. And of course, periodically monitor it to make sure they're not taking out more than they should. But everything else is pretty much automated. Going back to my Best Buy saga, I am going to add the Best Buy bill onto bill pay. So that is the 12 months, same as cash. So what I'm going to do is take the $710 and divide it by 10. My intention is to set up the bill pay to where it pays 2 weeks before the bill is due. It will be more than the minimum payment, and it will pay off before the 12 months. I'm going to actually have it paid off in 10 months, and of course the bill will go in 2 weeks ahead of time. That way I know that at least the minimum payment is being met, and it is paid on time, and oh, by the way, it will be paid in full before the 12 months. Because as you know, we do not pay interest, we do not tip the bankers. So having an automated bill pay or having your finances automated will allow you to do other things, because we have way more important things to do than to pay bills. I believe that automating our finances meets the higher productivity, reliability, availability. It increases performance and reduces operating costs. And what I mean by that is that not only are we taking care of other things besides paying bills, we're also paying them on time, and we are not paying more than we should. For example, we're not paying fees and we're not paying interest. And it'll allow us to do things that are more important in our lives. Hopefully you got a lot out of this video, and if you have anything that you would like to add that you're doing to automate your finances, go ahead and put it in the comment section below. And I look forward to another week of Me Inc. Enjoy your weekend.
Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can never miss another video.